How lucky am I to be sharing space with Hershe the Shadow Reader and medium Betsy Palmer? I'll tell you how lucky I am. I am very, very fortunate. Thank you, the two of you, for joining me. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, this came about after one of our last lives that we did, and we got talking, and there was some references to it in a laugh and learn, and it was like, okay, this is important. So we wrote it down, and it's been a month, and lots of things been going on, and I'm looking forward to this. This is a laugh and learn, and we're talking about patience, trust, and ownership. And I was thinking about it in working with our guides, our team, deity, goddesses, gods, whatever. It also is about patience and trust, or patience, trust, and ownership for ourselves. So, and I love it because both Hershe and Betsy are doing that. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I don't know about you all, but I'm sandwiched between these two goddesses, and I'm like going, "Oh yeah, paying attention, kids, paying attention." Hershe, one of these days, I'm going to send you a fan. I'm going to send you a fan. Do you want a Ouija board one? Because you Ouija, correct?
I do.
Okay. All right.
I do.
I love a Ouija. I'm sorry, I do.
No,
I
yeah.
do too.
A Ouija is a good thing. So so this is a laugh and learn about patience, trust, and ownership. Please remember, this is for entertainment purposes only. Do not make decisions based upon what we say. Seek professional assistance. Really? Please do all of the UB thing.
All them. All they.
There you go. We'll just put that up. Yeah. Like, share, subscribe, do all of the YouTubey things. I was talking about the laughter recently. I think it may have been with Jane. Part of when we laugh, we immediately raise our vibration and we remember things.
Oh.
So it actually helps us to do that. So so let's say hi to some of the best chatters. Well, what are you wearing, Hershe? Lovely earrings. Yeah.
Pawn shop find.
Nice. Nice.
There's double hoops.
All right. So let's say hi to some people, some of the best chatters. Hi, best chatters. We have Thomas from Tarot Your Way. I do have to brag a little bit because Thomas and Hershe are sharing space with me on Friday for yes/no readings. I'm looking forward to that. I am going to put this up there, Hershe, and I'm not going to make you read it. I am going to say what Thomas said. May I say to Hershe, it's been a pleasure seeing your recent growth, and to thank you, I had a small part of mentoring you in that process. Well done, Hershe.
Huge part. Huge part.
Yes. He's a nice guy, isn't he?
Yeah, but stop telling everybody, man. No.
Gerald's gonna steal your man.
I'm totally gonna steal your man.
And I have my brother.
Oh, there you go. Well, see, here's part of my plan.
I am my brother's keeper. I'm just letting you know.
Oh, okay. I'm doing this because when Thomas gets the 10,000 subscribers, I can say I remember him when. So, Plucky Heroine is here. Hello, Plucky. Maria is receiving abundance. Hello. And they have activated work lurking mode. And and we have Deb, Purple Elephant Deb H here. Good to see you. Very good to see you. Pia's Eclectic Life.
Hi, Pia.
Rose Blue, and Pia is also work lurking. So Rose Blue, Vanessa S, and Akila B24. Good to see you. And okay, we're just getting love there. And again, one of these days I'm going to actually get glasses to where I don't have to look down at them like this, but that's not today. Hello, Flower Beauty, Peacock Rainbow. Great to see you. And oh, Kaylee said thank you for the energy earlier, Hershey. Feeling a bit better.
Absolutely.
Good.
That
And
might be why I don't have. No, I'm just talking.
That might be. I was just going to say that's why you're releasing. Yeah.
Yep.
oh, yeah,
Good deal.
yeah. And we have Madame Maru's House of Cards, who at 4 p.m. Eastern today will be on with Jamie and me for back and forth with Jamie and Gerald. So
Very exciting.
yes. Gerald, I have a
I'm only
box.
coming for Maruda.
Do what?
Well, Jamie. I said I'm only going to be watching for Maruda and Jamie, though. Just so you know.
I would. All I am is the man behind the mirror. No, the man behind the curtain. Man behind the mirror. That's a Michael Jackson song.
There we are.
The man in the mirror. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Maru says I've got a couple of fans in it. Just need to get it shipped out. So
done.
And Kaylee is also worker lurking. Rossi is here. Hello, Jonathan. Good to see you.
Hello,
Ramon, nice to see you. Rose Blue is saying hello to everyone. So, and then Jane the Secretaro. She is nap lurking.
Nap lurking.
I know that's right.
Nap lurking.
Love it.
And so there's meeting Betsy Palmer, so that's good. And okay, so this is the this thing for entertainment purposes only. It's a legal thing from YouTube. I know people take things. It's a disclaimer. That's the word. Thank you. It's a disclaimer. I think the readings are really accurate and very important. So, but yeah. So, all right. But what? Yeah. Well, Flower Beauty. That's part of the part of what happens. Rossi is also work lurking. And all right. So yes.
So I'm counting to 10. Never mind.
Okay. Okay.
Was that a snort?
I'm channeling Jamie.
We need to put it in the snort jar. It still counts.
It still counts. That is beautiful.
All that often.
It still counts.
Amuse myself.
It's beautiful. And Kristen is here. Hello. All right. All right. So today I'm just getting caught up, and it's beautiful to see everybody. We are talking about patience, trust, and ownership when it comes to spiritual practices, to being authentically yourself. Patience, trust, and ownership are key things. So, does anybody want to say anything at the beginning with just about all three of those things? Hershey is sitting there like, mm-hmm.
I can say a little thing that these three components are about, and the word just came into my head and right out of my head. This is all about accountability for your own process.
Yes, I love that word, accountability. It's very important. Yes.
I don't know if I can top that word, but I would say that I struggle with more than one of these words. I mean, daily sometimes. So, yeah, accountability sounds damn good to me. I will second that word.
I struggle with all three of these. So I think that's, to be honest with you. Beth is here, Aspasia Rising. Hello, Beth. So, so we're going to talk about this, and we want you, the whole idea of this is let's just get you thinking about these things as it relates to yourself. You have your
Absolutely.
experiences, we have our individual experiences, and we're sharing a little bit with you. So I hope this is helpful for you and gives you the ability to pause a bit and to think deeply, because that's something that I need to remember. So, how about we talk about the first one, patience. So, patience. Who here is patient?
Getting
Can
there.
I say it depends?
You can. Yes, please say more.
Okay. So it depends. If I'm with my grandchildren, I'm very patient and I have patience with them. Um, I'm now learning patience with my children, but there are some things that I have no patience for whatsoever. Technology, smartphones, sometimes televisions, things that I struggle with them
Hmm.
a lot with, all of the aneurysms. So patience is something that there's sometimes I can't get a attorney thing or the like finding words, and I struggle with patience for myself, trying to find
Hmm.
words that like a screw toppy thing, like on a
Hmm.
milk jug or something,
Yes.
um, like patience with myself with that. No, I ain't got none. I ain't got none. That is a daily struggle. Writing sometimes, drawing. I think it just depends on what it is that I'm needing the patience for.
That
And
makes a lot of sense. When the mind is gone from point A to point B and the body is somewhere in the middle, it seems like
Yeah,
there's this
in
lapse
buffering.
of time between
Yep.
the understanding here and the completion that can be
Yes.
frustrating. Yeah, absolutely.
yes, part of what I'm thinking about, Hershey, is being patient is, for me, is easier when it's with for other people and I
Hmm.
see them making an effort.
Hmm.
I have difficulty being patient with myself depending upon what I'm working on. So, um, and so there are a few people who, be- um, Deb said, authenticity comes to mind, and the words
Polonium, yeah,
Polonius, and uh,
the air,
oh, and Hamlet. Yeah,
yeah.
to thine own self be true. Look at Deb. She's just whipping out the, intelligent references. So, um, Kristen with patience, Rose Blue, more than I used to be. Thomas is, of course, impatiently waiting on patience.
It's like, yeah, like asking for inner peace, right? Because that's just it. When we ask for something like patience or inner peace, the universe offers us contrast for our learning. So when you ask for inner peace and it seems like your whole world goes to shit with disruption, it's the universe offering you contrast so you can learn, right?
Yep.
Because how would we know we were there if we didn't see the opposite? We're human beings. We're not that great at
Yes.
picking up the subtleties.
Yep. We're often thrown into those kind of situations where we have to find the patience or figure something out. So,
Yeah.
yeah, I agree.
Yep. Plucky shared, I need help understanding where ownership comes into play. I understand trust and patience and how it relates to one's self. I will star you so we won't miss that.
We'll get there.
Yes. Deb said, every time I think I have learned patience, I am shown there are more lessons to be had.
I don't think
Every
that
damn time.
Yeah, I don't think it ever ends. I think the beauty of patience is not that we cease to find situations that challenge our desire for completion or our frustration at the pace of a process. I think the beauty about patience is arriving at that point of recognizing and choosing to breathe and wait. That's the beauty of it.
Mm-hmm. Patience does not mean that you just be a floor mat and people walk all over you. It does not mean that at all. It does not mean that at all. So, Kaylee said, today I could have gotten angry and frustrated with everything. Instead, I've just been breathing and telling myself, it's okay. I wouldn't have done that in the past. I'm learning. Good for you. Very good. Very good. Hi, Sherry. Good to see you. So, Betsy, what did you want to say about patience?
I showed these guys overachieving. I made a couple notes last night. Okay, so here's what last night, this is where I was with it. May change any moment. We all love the oh golly moments of metaphysics, that magical stuff that happens, but there is a process of awakening to mastery. Forget about time. That's the whole thing. Forget about the concept of time with these things. If you look honestly at where you are and where you want to go, sometimes we get discouraged. It seems like it's insurmountable. We're not capable of getting there. How long would it take to get there? An alternative I offer is to unpack all the skills that you believe will be required to get to that point and take these things one at a time. Cultivate what's necessary for you today in the moment, and then continue to stay with it until you feel confident about your skill and your ability with that. Skill can be learned. Ability and talent is there. Skills can be developed, and allow yourself, respect yourself enough to allow all the time, the appearance of time required to feel confident with that ability.
Mm-hmm.
And embrace the process, embrace that process, enjoy the journey, and it will reveal more to you as you're sitting on that one skill or one thing. Things will surprise you and be revealed to you one after another. That's what we talk about, living in the flow.
Mm-hmm.
So patience and taking things in bite-size quantities, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. Yes. I think sometimes people, when we are quiet, because I'm thinking about something, people mistake quiet for weakness. Don't make that mistake, people. Do not make that that mistake. So I want to get caught up in some chat.
Hershey, what have
Yes.
you to say about this?
About patience? It is something I struggle with a lot. I don't think it comes easily, even for those that aren't scared to admit it. I'm not scared to admit it. I struggle with that word every day. Every day.
Mm-hmm.
Not so much for other people. I seem to be somewhat like Gerald said when it comes to helping, listening, encouraging other people. I seem to have an endless jar of it. My hope never runs out for them.
Mm-hmm.
But I struggle with it myself. If you're in my inner circle and you personally know me, then you already probably know this about me. And it is something that I am learning, but it's not something that I struggled with it as a child. I struggled with it as a teenager. I struggled with it as a young adult. I'm about to be 48 years old and I'm still struggling with that word. I don't know when it's going to get easier. I don't know when it's going to get to the point where I first remind myself to breathe, think, don't overthink, patience. Those aren't things I usually think of first. So, retraining the brain for patience, that's not an easy one for me. Ownership is so much easier. Like, that's not, I don't even struggle with that. Like, if I'm guilty, I'm guilty. If I did it, I did it. I don't give a damn anymore. But when it comes to patience, it's one of the harder ones for me.
Yeah. And Maru said, I have more patience with people than with inanimate objects in situations beyond my control. That's helpful to know. Yes. Some people take advantage, and don't do that. And so I get that. Yelling at something like a pot to stay still, like that's I'm going to work. Well, it might, for a moment make you feel better. Peter J. Watts is here. Hi, Peter. Good to see you. Said patience, really trusting that the universe is on time is a constant battle for me.
I think that's coming up.
Yes.
And I see people chiming in that with age comes a little bit of wisdom and a little bit with the patience thing. And I can tell you, Hershe, you're going to love the 50s. They're the bomb. The 50s are great.
If patience is a big part of it, I am running out of time. Like, I'm already knocking at the door and shit. Like, when does it start?
Yeah.
Just skip ahead. Start telling everybody you're 50 because there's a couple of birthdays with nines in them are always a joke. How old are you? 29, 39? It's always a joke. So I just skip ahead. And then the great part about that is everybody goes, oh my God, you look great.
That's right. Knock 10 years off of your age just because.
Yeah.
Thomas said it's like eating an elephant. You do it one bite at a time.
Yeah.
Yep. And our busy world, think if you're quiet, you're not smart, or you don't get it, or you're slow. And it's like, yeah. And so, yep, easier for others for Kristen. I become more patient with age. Yes. Frustration at others isn't worth the pain. Hi, Kiba. Good to see you. Hi, Pamela. And see, this idea of living in the moment, it's a great idea. It's challenging to do that. I gained patience when I learned to live in the moment. And well, I'm also learning that being in the moment is extremely useful for I'm going to use the word efficiency of going through what we are going through. So we lean into that. I am having this crappy time. I'm going to lean into that crappy time instead of avoiding it. So
that's cool.
So patience is a lifelong learning process.
Food for thought.
What'd you say?
I said that's good food for thought.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things that when I honor exactly where I am, and I stop making excuses for it, and I go, I am fucking pissed, then I'm going to be fucking pissed because that's where I need to be. And instead of saying, oh, I'm not mad, when in fact I surely am. So yeah, yep. Vanessa S is right. My environment taught me patience and to slow down. Personally, I'm loving the 60s.
Oh yeah, the 60s aren't so bad either, are they?
There you go. And Deanne Blue Crescent Tarot is here. Patience, my patience mantra, you're worth the wait. So I tell people I'm 15 years older than my true age. I like to hear how great I look. I'm impatient. Yeah, I was impatient to leave my 20s and turn 30. Now I'm decades older and it all still flies by. Yes. Yes. Yes, sip sip. Thank you.
Yeah.
So,
Sip,
um,
sip.
are you drinking anything, Hershey?
Agua. I
It's
told you
very
I'm out of
good.
creamer. I can't have my coffee. I'm so upset about that.
I can overnight some to you. Like I can
Girl,
do that
that's why you're
right now.
yawning.
Yeah,
That's
that's
why
why
you're
you're yawning.
yawning.
I know. I'm having caffeine withdrawals. I'm over here like, "Ah."
Oh my gosh. And yeah, and so okay, so this is one of those things that by the way, best chatters are bringing it. Bringing it.
Absolutely.
I see Care Bear, Bard of Cards. This is great. So, yeah. So, shall we move on to trust? Let's do this.
Sure.
Let's talk about trust. I'm going to start with you, Betsy. What do you want to? Let's talk about trust.
Go back to the notes here. Trust. Okay. Here's what I believe, that I am always in the perfect place at the perfect time for the experiences I require for my growth. I believe that's all of us.
Mm,
We as readers, we have a lot of people coming to us to ask if they're on the right path, if they're in the right place, doing the right thing. I believe you're 100% in the perfect place at all times. If it weren't the perfect thing, you would be somewhere else. Believe it. I believe that completely. My biggest secret is there is no path. Doesn't exist. I don't believe in a path. I don't believe you can fall off the path. I don't believe it's possible.
mm,
Um, and that I also trust that my guides and my or spiritual team are always with me at all times, doing everything possible to help me. That if I feel abandoned, it's me. If I
mm.
feel I can't sense them, also me. Declaring a disconnect creates the disconnect, the separation. Again,
Mm.
source is giving me the experience I require. So if I feel that my team has left me for the moment, that if they're not responding to me, just that thought alone creates the separation.
I can see that. Yes. Yes. Um, Madame Maru said, trust is the hardest for me because of childhood experience. Yes. And I want to get caught up on something because Thomas said something. Physical limitations teach one a great deal about patience. And that was quickly followed up by Purple Elephant Deb H saying, that's so true. Yes. So, yeah. Same here, Betsy. I walk the path I walk, never on the path or off the path. Wanderer. You're on your own journey. Yeah. Hershey, what are you thinking?
We, I think this is one of those words that gets broke into layers and layers and layers and layers. I don't think it is one sided, one way. I don't think even Velcro is enough for this word. Um, Trust. Human wise, I have to trust the man that's working in the drive through that he didn't spit in my soda or my tea or on my fries and my burger. I have to put trust in humans, right? Granted, the more I get to know some of them, I start pulling that trust back,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't turn trust away from what it is, but I don't allow anything else to interfere. Like, well, they don't deserve my loyalty, or they don't deserve to be learning or being taught a better way or anything like that. I just look at it in the trust realm. But when it absolutely comes to the universe or my guides, my team, or the ghost that I clearly have 100% connection to, emphatic trust 100%. I know things, I've seen things, I've walked with them, and there is no mistrust whatsoever. I may not agree with it. It may piss me off. It may hurt my feelings because it doesn't come in the human want department. It's in the need. And if I don't need it yet, it ain't happening until I need it. That's that human part of me that I have got to just deal with somehow. But when it
Yes.
comes to anything other than human, 9 times out of 10, it's an emphatic trust for me. And then the trust itself is broke down into layers when it comes to the level I'm dealing with the human in.
And both of
Did I
you
say
can,
that too much?
what?
I said, was that too much?
No, I'm taking this all in, and I'm appreciating it. There is what got each of you to that level of trust in the guides, the universe, life? What was it that got you there?
The decades of finding myself bailed out of situations, or noticing that when I was in times of that I was really unsure of what was going to transpire, the universe always had my back. And COVID really sealed the deal, because during COVID, I was probably one of the luckiest people on the planet with my situation. And I cannot express that enough. I was so fortunate through the entire thing. Yeah, to me, it's just irrefutable that the universe has my back.
I love that. Yeah.
I died, and then I've been walking 14 years since I came back with them in this realm and in theirs. So I there's nothing for me to question. I
Yes.
don't have an it's easier for me to just not get caught up in the conversations of any of, well, how did it start, when was it, what was it, I died, and when I came back they were still there. They didn't go anywhere. I still saw it, I still felt it, I still smelt it, I still engage in it. It's all around. It's not just here when you want it or when you don't. It's all around all the time. They're always with us. They're never not with us.
Yeah.
But no matter who you're talking to, you can't get them to understand that. So there's nothing for me to not trust. It's more trusting on that side because there's no reason to lie. Matter of fact, it kind of goes against everything over there. Like there's everything's transparent. There's no sense in it. So
Yeah.
like I said, I just take trust when it comes to humans. When it comes to me, my abilities, what I've been through, where I've been, what I want, how I want to get there, I just have to believe in myself. That goes back to what Betsy was saying. That's on me if I'm having an off day. It's definitely not on them. It's on me.
Yeah. Thank you both. I was just curious because I think it's, for me, each of our individual experiences are valuable, and what we do with them helps to deepen our connection in a unique way. I was saying backstage that the three of us, we are, we talking about these 3-4 things, and we each have a different approach to it and a different understanding. Every single one of those is valuable. Every single one of those, I'm already getting emotional thinking about what you two have shared, what people in chat are sharing. It's really beautiful. Okay, I'm not here to get emotional, but yeah.
But a wise one, please share with us, if you don't mind, your take on trust.
Yeah, and my take on trust, as far as humans, my mother always said to me, I trust you until you give me a reason not to trust you. And she meant it. And that is a philosophy that I try to take into my life. I if I ask you to do something, I trust that you are going to do it. I trust that you're going to ask if you have questions. I've added to the ability for people I'm interacting with to be successful with that. And I'll be honest with you, if somebody is struggling with something with me, and they reach out to me and they talk to me about it, that skyrockets the trust that I have in that individual, because suddenly I know exactly where I am with them. They're telling me it the way it is. They're telling me their experience, and they care enough about our relationship to talk about it. I mean, that's powerful. That's really, really powerful. Um, and I'm going. Well, this is an honest answer. Um, I have always trusted deity, divine, God, goddess, the guides, whatever. I always know things are going to work out. I expect them to work out, and they do. I'm very fortunate that way. Sometimes it's a long, windy path, which is very exciting sometimes and a lot of fun, very frustrating and anxiety enhancing in other times. But I try to keep showing up. I know this is going to work out. And part of what I do, because I'm very good at suspending my disbelief, I go, I'm going to get out of the way and I'm going to let you do it. I just hope I don't miss the cues. So did I answer your question? Yeah. It's like, and I can't explain it. I don't want to try to explain it, because then it makes it complicated. And then I start doubting it a little bit. And then I'm like, no, just stop it. Stop it. Unfortunately, in my 50s, I have gotten to the point, well, let us know when you get there, Hershey. Um, in my 50s, I am suddenly, I'm like going, okay. Now,
Well,
that being said,
I'm 48, so
okay. I can trust. I still have to show up and I have to do the work. This is not a cosmic cash machine. If I don't show up and go to work every day, of course I'm not going to have money. If I don't show up and do the things that I am supposed to be doing, there you go. So, all right.
absolutely.
Okay, I'm getting off my soapbox. All right, so we've had a couple of more people in the chat, and it's beautiful. Okay. Deanne said, "That's how I am. I believe the path is created as we take steps. I also believe there are a multitude of paths meant for us. It's complicated, but not. Yeah, the path rises up to meet my steps. Yep. Trust requires me feeling safe to express myself authentically too. I understand that. Purple Elephant Deb H said, I think I am naturally a naturally trusting person. You generally have to show me you are not trustworthy. That being said, I think I trust the universe to be where it should be, as Betsy said. Yeah. We must work on our paths mostly alone. I am wary of others' offers to help, not so trusting. And yes, all of us are like,
There's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that whatsoever.
You are absolutely correct.
People can disappoint us all the time, every day.
And
they can also
have
surprise
so
us.
many times.
They can also surprise us. So yeah,
That's right.
It's a thing. I'm there too, guys. In public with human beings, I'm a little bit standoffish, introverted, kind of like that. Even though I like being on stage, I'm one of those weird kind of extroverted introverts. Anyway, so I can be a little standoffish. Initially with people, wait and see what they're going to do, see if people are going to come to you energetically or if they're going to back off. Yeah. But that's because I used to just rush at people energetically and just throw myself at everything. Yeah, I learned.
Mm-hmm. Yes, Thomas, what you're saying is absolutely true. And when back in the day, when I was studying and doing a lot of my personal therapy, part of a way to develop trust is for me to say, I want to believe you. I'm struggling with actually taking it in and believing you. And therein lies that's honesty. That's that authenticity. It's like, it's like a lot of times people would say nice things about me and I would immediately shut down. And I work at saying, that's hard for me to hear. Thank you. Full stop. You don't need to go beyond that. So great stuff in the chat. So Purple Elephant said, I can't remember a time I didn't trust that all things happen as they should in their own time. I don't worry about how things will work out. I never have. And Plucky said, my ability to trust has increased with developing a heightened awareness of myself and others. Invariably, the universe will send a sign as validation.
Yeah.
Yep.
Agreed.
Yep. Thomas brings up Hakuna Matata.
What does that mean, guys?
It means no worries, if I understand correctly, from The Lion King. Do I have that correct, Thomas? So, Care Bear, Karen says, I have 2 levels of trust. 1, a general trust in actions, and 2, the layer of trust to be vulnerable with my emotions and innermost self. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Sherry said my mom said the same to me and to my brother, and I said it to my son as he was growing up. Yep. Yeah. Got a heart there. Majestic Oracle is here. Hello.
Somebody said something about expectations in the chat. Yeah, that's a big one with humans, right?
Oh, yes.
I remember saying to someone once, it's a lot easier to get your expectations met if you let people know what they are.
That's so true. I had a conversation with somebody who I said, it's really difficult to meet expectations when I didn't know that they were there.
Yeah.
And that's, well, okay. That idea of expectations, that in relationship to your spirit team. I mean, that's a conversation I have with them sometimes. Okay, what are you expecting me to do? And sometimes it's like, shut up and get out of the way and let us do our work. And other times it's like, we expect you to do this. It's like, all right, I'll do that. Let me tell you how that works out. My team can be a bit humorous. So Morella is here. Hi, Morella.
Hello.
Yeah, expectations need to be agreed upon too with the convo. Absolutely. So, yep, no worries. We got it. Here you go. Now, and yes, you're welcome for the earworm. Yep, no worries. Okay, so getting caught up. Okay, just to throw in with Thomas, I had a huge event that tore me in half, and part of it was trust of institutions completely falling away. I've done a lot of healing, but there's more to do. Yes. Yes. Any last minute words on trust? It's a good conversation, people.
It's just a word that it comes in layers for me. So I think I pretty much covered it. For me anyway.
It's beautiful. How about ownership? Do I have to start this one since the 2 of you have each started one? Yeah. Betsy's going, yes, Gerald.
Yes, please.
You know what, that's going to happen. One of the things that when I had a breakup before I met Jeffrey, one of the things that I realized that I had to do is I had to own everything that I did in that relationship. And that owning that and hearing it was really difficult. It was very, very challenging to hear how my actions appeared to other people. And I got to be okay with, I can see that. You're right. That is exactly what I did. And that ownership. So that's one aspect of it. The other aspect of it is for me is very much, I'm part of this. I am part of this life. I'm part of this relationship that I have with my guides, my team, the world. I need to show up and I need to do my bit. If I don't, other things are not going to fall into place. That being said, sometimes the only thing that I can do successfully is to get out of bed in the morning. And sometimes that's okay. But if I've done something or not done something, if I go, yep, that is exactly what I did, I own it, I embrace it, and I learn from it, or I try to. I don't always do that. So, anyhow, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I love what you said because I have learned to say, "Oh my God, that sounds exactly like something I would have done." Yep, that's mine. That's mine. Yeah, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not as much of a tragedy as I was led to believe when I was young.
Mm-hmm.
Typically, it's easily completed.
Yeah.
Um, oh, yeah, I got a little carried away with mine. I don't know how. Hershey, why don't you go? I'm going to kind of review my notes and hit the highlights.
Wow. Um, I'm glad that now I don't struggle with it. If it's not mine, I won't carry the weight. I don't give a damn whose it is. I don't care if it's my own kids. I won't carry no one's weight. I learned the hard way. But I learned through life experiences watching people that were supposed to love me and teach me and be parents to me not know a damn thing about ownership, nor do they know how to teach it, stand on their own or in their own. Even when facing a hypothetical court of law situation or whatever, they still had no ownership. They still couldn't own up to what they did, still couldn't take their own weight, you know? And I grew very comfortable in learning how to hide it, mask it. I knew what it was. I took it with myself when I would be like, yeah, I did that stupid shit when I got caught. But then after so long, you can't wait till you get caught to take it every time. You got to stop living tit for tat. You got to stop living with the game, always thinking constantly that mind frame will not get you anywhere. So for me, ownership was something that I just had to literally start calling myself a spade a spade. Like, you got to stop. You know, you literally, if you don't stop, you're not gonna stop. You know, this is a game you can do for too long, too well. No. And I literally just I put the emergency brake on and I locked up with the Jake brakes and all kinds of every kind of brake and lock, and I locked that away from me. Like I don't allow myself to not take my ownership anymore. And I damn sure don't carry nobody else's weight. I don't care who it is. I don't care. If they are a grown adult, I'm not carrying their weight. I'm just not. I can't do it. I can't do it. I'm not going to force them to carry their own weight. But, you know, like they say, you ain't got to go home, but you got to get the hell up out of here. You're out of my life if you can't even carry your own weight. I can't have that kind of person in my life anymore because it's detrimental to me because I end up playing tit for tat games with them. And that's not fair to them either, you know, and that's just me being honest about who I am. I need strong, very independent thinkers. I need people in my life that can move forward, think forward, not be dependent on every Jacob's ladder they find. And it wasn't through nothing but life experiences and trials and falling flat on my ass and flat on my face thousands and thousands of times before I just got tired of it, and I literally just I refuse it to be in my life. I don't allow it. Not
That's well
anymore.
said. That's well said. Something you said helped me to something that I've recently learned is I ask myself, is this mine?
Mhm.
Is this mine?
Absolutely.
And it's amazing how challenging that is. It's like, well, what do you mean? Is it mine? And it's blah 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 blah. You know, because I know I'm the only one who has that conversation with himself, right? No, but is it mine? It's such a really powerful question. Is this mine?
Absolutely.
And if it is, then I can work on owning it and understanding it and unraveling it.
Yep.
If it's not mine, like you, Hershey, I can go, well, there you go. It's not mine. You know, I'm getting rid of that train car.
Absolutely. It's not even compartmentalizing yourself. It's literally not allowing it. It's setting them boundaries, and you got to stick to them boundaries. You can't expect anybody else if you
Yes.
can't do it for yourself. If you cannot follow your own laws and what you feel and your own principles and your own morals and values, you can't damn sure expect anybody else in your circle to do it. But you're not doing it for
Yes.
yourself.
Yes. Yes. Is it okay, Betsy, if I go through some of the comments quickly?
Yeah.
Because the best chatters are absolutely bringing it, and Deanna said very powerful, Hershey, and Deb said I struggle with ownership more than other things. I want to own everything I think or say. It's hard if it's something I'm not proud of.
Uh-oh. Hi.
Well, hi, Hershey. Welcome back. And Deanne said, I think I'm pretty sweet at ownership. Harley shared, if you can take ownership, it helps you grow. You learn what is not, what not to do again. Lesson learned. Next. So, Jana was talking about having sympathy for doctors for the difficulties and the struggles they go through. We are constantly learning. Thomas, terror your way. Trust in others takes a long time, and one misstep can be broken and has to be built up from scratch again. But don't fall for it with a narcissistic person.
Agreed.
Yeah. Ownership for me is learning and actually genuinely say, I'm sorry for something I've done. That's well said, Vanessa S.
Ooh, very much so.
Yeah. Care Bear said, I own my wrongs. They aren't always accepted, but I can't control how it's received. That's true. That's a big
Very healthy.
lesson.
Very healthy.
Very, very healthy. Devaria said, ownership makes me admit to myself that I mess up a lot.
That's right. That's right. Absolutely.
Welcome to the club, Devaria.
Yeah.
That's right.
I am a platinum member. Yes, yes. Ownership is taking the blame that's only yours, not shouldering others' blame.
Absolutely right. Absolutely. If it ain't yours, don't take it. Don't carry it, and pick and don't even pick it up. Don't even help them pick it up. Leave it exactly where the hell they expected you to pick it up from. No, no, no. No means no. Complete sentence. Absolutely not happening. No way.
Yep. And Deb said, if you are an empath, you end up with other people's baggage without trying. Boundaries are a must.
I've been waiting for you to come to that one because those of us in this community, we are sensitive people. A lot of us grew up in dysfunctional households in which being the sensitive ones we were required to do the emotional processing for everybody else in the room that was not in touch with their emotions. And here's where we are, empaths carrying other people's stuff.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So, and Harley said, Gerald, I've been saying and have to practice is everyone has their own path. And I have a request from Majestic Oracle. Oh, here. Is it mine?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. At the top of this conversation, I was thinking in very narrow terms. Thank you for this conversation. I didn't have the vocabulary. My ownership has been forged over the years since my 20s. Congratulations. So, yeah, Hershey said a mouthful. And it's one of the hardest lessons for women to learn. No is a complete sentence. No explanation necessary. Correct. All right, Betsy, let's talk about ownership. What do you got?
Okay. A couple of different things here. So for me, ownership of my actions was slow in coming. Growing up with an OCD parent, one of them was OCD. So, nobody can do anything else right except someone with OCD. They just can't help it. So I grew up being so afraid to make a choice because any choice I made was going to be the wrong one. But as a child, you're forever hopeful you're going to eventually find the one right way to do something. Yeah, it never happened. So high anxiety person, right? But also just ownership is difficult when you're trying so hard to do the right thing and failing consistently. It's hard to own all of those failures when you just want to say, I'm trying to make everybody else happy and it's not working. It's not my fault. So for me, ownership was slower to come to as I chose to be kind of the hermit life. I have learned ownership since I am no longer trying to fulfill a role for somebody else and I'm just here by myself. Now I can own the things I do. Like I said, when I see something that is whatever and I go, oh, that sounds exactly like something I would have done. Yeah, I can accept that.
Yeah.
And the other token or the other side of ownership for me in talking about the spiritual stuff, since we're on this venue, is about, it comes down to fear. That so many people I have talked to that are in an awakening process or a deepening process still have a level of fear about what they're attracting, what's around them, what they may call to them, what their abilities might entail. And I think it's very important to come to a place of understanding who you are, understanding where your talents lie and your affinities, and educating yourself, getting some knowledge. And this is a lot of the reference about as above, so below, the light and the dark. Everybody likes the light, happy stuff, the frou-frou stuff. Everybody likes that. But there's a balance to everything. And I believe that by gaining education about as many subjects as come into your awareness, if it comes in front of you and you're attracted to it or repelled by it, the greatest service you can do for yourself is to follow it and get some education. So you understand things, you understand your place in that dynamic or in that realm or in that world, and you understand your abilities as well, and the things you are meant to do and the things that you are not meant to do. And those aren't necessarily the same things as what you want. And I just kind of feel like really understanding yourself and taking ownership of your talents really is a big part of mastery. And that word used to intimidate me. I used to think it was arrogant. And if you considered yourself a master, you were dominating others, but now I understand it to mean mastering myself and
That's
to
powerful.
and to step in the world in authenticity about what I can and cannot do, and showing up in the universe every day as the being I want the universe to recognize as me in this lifetime.
Nice.
Absolutely.
Off my soapbox.
Fan warp on that one. Well, and I think, these, there's great comments in chat. I do want to say it is important that to understand patience, trust, and ownership, and that idea of authenticity. They're challenging to do on your own. This is where sometimes getting professional help, someone that you trust, is extremely helpful, because when somebody is skilled at helping people understand how to be patient with themselves, that support, I like to think, is a sign from the universe saying, here's help. You still have to show up and do the work, but you need somebody who, I need friends who are going to actually look at me and put me in check and go, really, Gerald, get off of your damn high horse. Really? I mean, and then I need them to look at me and me go, oh, crap, you're right. And then, it's the friend who, that's a horrible idea. What time? And let me make sure my phone is fully charged, because I will absolutely help you get up after I take a picture and a video. So okay, some beautiful, beautiful comments here. Okay, did I say this? Ownership for me is in the past. Why my response or reaction is my own. So reactions of them to me, my ownership is my recognizing that I have had a part in the situation. So I struggle with ownership. I think I may have already said that. Yep, not proud of. Trust in others, long time. Yep, narcissistic. Okay, ownership is taking the blame that's only yours and not shouldering others' blame. Well said. And yes, everyone, Gerald, what I've been saying and have had to practice is everyone has their own path. Yes, when their path crosses mine, that's when there's going to be issues. Or, excuse me, that's when there's going to be opportunities for growth. So, ownership, it can be stepping into who we are on every level, including limitations and accomplishments.
Yeah. I think it's a beautiful thing to know your limitations.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you don't have to beat yourself up. I'm in sales. So when people ask me for a quote on my best price, I always say, let me go get the phone. There's an app that handles that. I give no quotes off the top of my head because this is not trustworthy with math. I'll be right back. It's a beautiful thing to not have to then stress and try and panic and figure it out. It's beautiful.
Yes. You're getting a lot of praise, Betsy. Wow, Betsy, that's so fucking fascinating that you that literally you have honed your intuition to the point you have after that childhood. Amazing.
Hey, I picked it. That childhood, that's when I picked.
Yes. Jonathan said, yes, Betsy, ownership means embracing your own light and darkness. Yep. And all of those have a place, and all of them, they're equally powerful. We must give ourselves grace too with narcissistic or domineering personalities. Understanding boundaries is vital. Are people coming?
What's going on over there behind the mask?
Yes, Hershey?
Yes, ma'am.
No, 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 no. I'm agreeing with it. I'm agreeing with it. I was
Okay.
telling somebody to be quiet. They came in kind of loudly.
No. What did they say?
I was trying to be respectful, so
Is it okay? Well, if you'd like to share it, I'd love to hear it.
I would love to hear it too, but no pressure. Are people coming for readings trying to dodge ownership of their eventual decision to push off blame? No, they want a suggestion for direction. Sometimes, Thomas, other times people are trying to push off. Well, that psychic said, and
Well,
I'm not
and you
going
know, if you ask 5 people what they want, you're going to get each one is going to create a list of things they don't want instantaneously and speak that out loud, right? But when you say that, okay, that's good. Now, what do you want? And then people start stumbling. So, yeah, I think there's an element of that in readings where people have situations and they want to know what to anticipate in the future. I think there's an element of that. If you don't know for sure what you want for yourself, or if you're not accustomed to intending the intention process and co-creating your world.
Yeah. Yep. So this has been very, very helpful. Randy says I learned to respond instead of react is very helpful.
That's it, right?
That's and part of responding is listening with the purpose of understanding, not in responding. That's extremely true. And here Vanessa says, I now feel more confident with implementing my boundaries. This community has helped me do that. Good. Good. Bye, Jeffrey. So, Hershe, any last minute thoughts before we head out for people?
No, you guys know I pretty much just say it how I feel it, and I mean,
And I love that.
no disrespect about being who I am. It's who I am. I don't struggle with ownership. I struggle with patience, and trust comes in layers. I mean, I don't know any other way to say it.
Yeah.
For me, anyway, I love the input and the feedback, and knowledge is power, and I'm always collecting it. I learn something new every day.
Yes. Yes. Betsy, any thoughts from you?
No, I'm just grateful to share this time with you guys. And I hope that all the best chatters, thank you for hanging out too. And I hope you found some value here.
Yes, very much so. One thing that is important, I think, for all of these is that we get curious to understand what those mean. Because patience for me now is different than patience for me as a 20-year-old.
Yes.
Ownership and trust look different. And then I also wrote down accountability. So very, very powerful. So, and Thomas said it's Hershe's Guide's Hershe's Guide and internet causing interference. He is blaming your guides
for everything.
Well, and here's what I would say. I'm thanking your guides for giving us an opportunity.
Absolutely.
They're a bit extreme sometimes.
Sometimes. Sometimes. I love it all the time. Anyhow, thank you everybody very much for joining us. Please do all of the YouTube-y things. Like, share, and subscribe. And thank you, Betsy. Thank you, Hershe, for sharing space with me. And as soon as we're done, maybe we'll figure out another time for us to get together. So stay tuned. Everyone take care. Bye.